What is up, everyone? It is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year, everyone! That is so insane that it is already 2022, and this is my first video of 2022, which is wild. So to kick off the new year today, I am going to be talking about the books that I read in December. So in the month of December, I read 7 books, which is definitely lower than the 12 books that I read in November, because December I was working my full-time law firm job, and then my part-time admissions reader job was really picking up, so sadly I didn't really have a lot of time to read as many books as I would have liked. But we'll go through these 7 books and I will give you my recommendations. So the first book I read in December is Confessions on the 745 by Lisa Unger. This novel follows a story about a woman who finds out that her husband is having an affair, cheating on her with the nanny. And then one day on her train ride home, she confides in a random lady that she meets about this affair. But then after that confession to the lady on the train, the nanny actually goes missing. So then the story follows like, oh, what happened to the nanny? The police and detectives think that the husband had something to do with the nanny's disappearance, and following that mystery storyline. And so I would definitely give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very interesting, captivating, and it switches point of views between like present day and the past, so you can learn about different histories of the characters, and it definitely has some interesting twists along the way that keep your attention, and I don't think they're that guessable, so you'll be on the edge of your seat. So the next book I read in December is In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. This book follows a woman who goes to sleep one night. She has her entire life plan planned out, like, I want to get married at this time, I want to have kids at this time, I want to be at this point in my career at this point in time, and then she goes to sleep and has this dream where she potentially sees 5 years into the future. She wakes up super confused, like, WTF was that? Is this a real dream? It felt really real, but I don't know that person that I met in the dream. And then the novel follows through their lives until they get to that point where the dream happened, and then you learn all of the history and the background of what led up to that point in the dream and the aftermath afterwards. In 5 years, I would give it 5 stars. I really enjoyed the storyline, and it's really quick to get through, and I guess the ending and the story, it wasn't really what I was expecting was going to happen. Just heartwarming and sad. If that is what you're looking for in a book, definitely check this out. So the next book I read in December is The Wives by Taryn Fisher. This novel follows a woman who is actually married to a man who has numerous wives, hence the title. And they have an interesting arrangement where the main character woman, she only gets to see the husband on one day of the week on Thursday. But the main character woman is over this arrangement. She wants to see the husband more. She thought she would be okay having this like polyamorous relationship, but it turns out she's not really okay with it, so she goes off to find the other wives to speak with them to get her husband. But everything is not as it seems, and then it goes more into the storyline of all of their relationships, this arrangement that they have, what is actually going on here. I would give this maybe like a 3.5 stars. It was definitely good, but it was like an okay read compared to the other books that I read this month. And honestly, thinking about like the plot and how this story ends, I'm not sure if I remember exactly how the book ends. So I don't know if that's a bad thing, that like maybe this book was just not as memorable, but yeah, I'm not sure if I could tell you the ending 100% at this moment. moment. The next book I read in December is The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth. And so this story follows a family relationship between a daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, the daughter-in-law's husband, and so the husband's parents have a lot of money, which is a little bit sketchy when the mother-in-law, she dies from an apparent suicide, but the police are looking into it because some sketchy things occurred, so maybe it was a homicide. So the story goes into all of the family dynamics. The mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law seemingly don't have a good relationship. They have butted heads in the past. Some of the family members have had money problems, so a lot of different people would potentially have motive to kill the mother-in-law. So I would give this book a 5 out of 5 stars as well. I really enjoyed this read, and honestly, it was sort of sad also. And you think like, oh, you know, potentially murder mystery, how is that sad? But the story really delves into the relationships between all of the family members, and it's just sort of heartbreaking what ends up happening. The next book I read in December is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. The premise revolves around the death of a famous filmmaker's daughter. And so this journalist really wants to figure out what happened to the filmmaker's daughter, and it's sort of like a big goose chase. He's led on all of these different routes trying to figure out, okay, where was she? Who was she talking to? Trying to figure out what happened to her. And so for me personally, I did not really enjoy this read, so I would give it a 2 out of 5 stars. At the end, I looked it up because I was a little bit confused and I wanted to read theories and stuff, and there are so many people online who have theories and different conspiracies about the book, talking about, oh, is the person actually alive or are they dead? What is happening at the filmmaker's big house? What are all of the creepy things that are happening in the book? So definitely I can see the allure to it, but for me personally, I was just not a fan. I felt like it dragged on, and then certain parts were sort of confusing. Overall, I was not really a fan of this book. The next book I read in December was November 9 by Colleen Hoover, which I was on the wait list for a long time at the library, so couldn't get to read it in November, but we've got it in December. And so I feel like this is one of those TikTok hyped books where in this novel the two main characters, they meet, and then because of different life circumstances, the girl is moving across the country from California to New York, so then they make an arrangement to only meet once every year on November 9th. And then the story skips through each of the November 9ths for a 5-year period, going through their relationship and friendship. So for this being a super hyped TikTok recommended book, I would give it a 3.5 stars. It was a quick read. I read it in one day, but I feel like compared to other Colleen Hoover books that I've talked about in my other reading wrap-up videos, I personally preferred her other novels that I've read over this one. And I don't know, low-key a little bit with the storyline, it felt very white knighty, where the guy main character was trying to be the white knight, the hero of the story. He's coming in wanting to fix this girl. He thinks that she's insecure. There's no reason for her to be insecure because I like you. Things like that, which just felt very, I guess, weird if people are doing that to you in real life. Like, hey, I'm going to be your knight in shining armor. I'm going to fix all of your problems. Everything that is going wrong in your life is because of me, so let me fix it. So I felt like that played a big part of their love story and the storyline, which personally I'm not that big of a fan of. And finally, the last book I read in December is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Another TikTok hyped book finally got off the waitlist at the library as well. This novel follows the friendship relationship between two people that met in college. It flips between the present and the past, and they had a falling out 2 years ago which put a strain in their friendship. So there's a lot of tension. You are reading it to figure out, like, will this friendship relationship work? Why did they have a falling out a few years ago? How did they meet? What is their storyline? All of that information. So I really loved this book. I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It is worth the TikTok hype. And I thought it was just really relatable in the sense that I feel like a lot of people have those kinds of friendships where everyone else thinks, oh, I ship them, I think they would be a good couple, but those two people never actually date. But I definitely think that I could see like friendships that I've had played out in this storyline, which made it so interesting to read. And so yeah, those were the 7 books that I read in the month of December. Definitely, if you have any book recommendations for me that I should read in January, February, the coming months, please leave a comment down below. And if you've read any of these books that I've read, also leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. Did you like that novel? Did you not like that novel? Let me know. And with that, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, definitely give it a big thumbs up to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Happy New Year to you all, and I will see you all next time.